We are coming to you from Nelson Mandela Bay, where the water or the dam levels have rather plummeted. The combined levels of the dams in the metro are standing at 24%. We have the Koga Dam at 7%, the Churchill at 18%, Mpofu at 48%, and the Groendal, which feeds the Uitenhage area, at 48%. But to talk more about the water crisis in the metro, I do have with me the Director of Water and Sanitation, Mr. Barry Martin. Mr. Martin, thank you for joining us this morning. Just tell us briefly, how dire is the situation in Nelson Mandela Bay? We know that throughout the Eastern Cape province we have a water crisis with the ongoing drought, but are we really approaching day zero as Cape Town is?
We are in a water crisis, and we might not be as severe as the situation in Cape Town. However, the problem is that half of our metropolitan area is being fed from the western sources, and that is where the dire need is. And therefore, we foresee that there is potentially a time that will come that we will have water scarcity on that part of the system, and therefore we have to plan for that. And our plans are currently dealing with using the most of the water that we can from Nooit Gedag to save the water on the western sources, and thereby prolonging a potential day zero until the next rainy season, which is after September.
Now, the Metro has said that the Churchill Dam is going to be the saving grace of the Metro, and that's going to be the emergency reservoir. How is the Metro planning on using that?
We must first understand that a dam doesn't stand dormant for all the time. But we took a strategic decision in July to save that water and bring most of the water in from Nooit Gedag to preserve whatever we have on the west. So that is already a plan that we started then. And you do have operational problems, breakdowns and the like, power outages and the like that we have. And both our Mpofu Dam treatment works and the Churchill treatment works is on the same river system, and they are feeding through the same pipeline system into the metropolitan area. And therefore, if you have an operational breakdown on the one system, we then can back up it from Churchill. So the combined water we're taking out of the two dams, but currently we're only taking that water out of one dam, which per se is also a problem. But once again, we took the decision to keep that water for as long as possible. So we use it for domestic purposes on the dam and immediate, and then augment it when we are needed operationally. But the time will come that we probably might have to bring that water in sooner than later, because when the dam drops at Mpofu to 22%, then we have to float a barge onto the dam to extract the water there, and then we can't take that huge volumes of water that we did take, and then at that time we will then take the water out of Churchill Dam.
Now we're looking at Cape Town, which has been said to use 50 litres per person. Now the Metro has said that in Nelson Mandela Bay it's 50 litres, Cape Town 50 litres per household, and Metro 50 litres per person. Do we see that water dropping, and do we see tariffs going up in the coming months?
Tariffs are approved by Council, and obviously through the reporting system to Council, we will advise at the appropriate time when should that be a requirement. We have put a limit on 50 litres, initially 70 litres per person per day, and that we were promoting for the last couple of months. And the time has come for us, as the Executive Mayor said on Friday, that we will also start moving to 50. And whether we have water from Nooit Gedag and have reserved water from Churchill, the time has come that we all have to cut back water, and our average water consumption has to drop to below the 270, 280 we're using, preferably to around 250, so that we can preserve what we have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Martin. We have to cut you there. But there you have it. Nelson Mandela Bay is facing a crisis water problem. The Metro has urged every resident to cut down on their water usage. It's 50 litres per person from now onwards. We don't see tariffs going up anytime soon, but that we'll have to see whether we get sufficient rainfall in the Eastern Cape. But it's back to you in studio. Let's go to Valen with the sport.